was such a daunting task to even think about personal finance. I wasn't sure exactly what I was supposed to do. I didn't know how to, save money. I wasn't sure how much I should be saving. I just knew that I wanted to do better. And so, at this point, I was, as I said last time, halfway into what I like to say is the point where I reached financial independence, which for me was in the year 2020. And so 2012 really was the halfway point for me in terms of that goal that I had. Now that goal can be a little bit fluid because some people can say financial independence doesn't happen until maybe a little bit later than where I was, but still, it was the opportunity for me to talk to somebody in the personal finance space, Suze Orman, in 2012, so she could tell me how I was doing according to her. And so let me give you some of the details about that. But first, as far as the taping of the segments, happened pretty much in March of 2012. And then I believe it was May of 2012 that we recorded the actual session where I called in, or they called me, and then I got to talk to her about my finances. So I was on a business trip in Tennessee, I believe, and that's where I had to film the part where I say, hi Susie, after just discovering your show, I've been able to save for my retirement. And I also mentioned that I had some really bad times in my past financially, but I didn't say that I had a bankruptcy that you guys know about. And so they called me at the hotel. We recorded the voicemail, or the voice over, and then I sent them pictures. And by the way, I should probably mention to you, and I think I talked about this on another episode in the past, but if you want to check out my episode, it is on Amazon. And, just type in Suze Orman Show, and it's season 11, which is in 2012, episode 29, and it's titled Gut Check. And then just go to the end of the episode for, of course, the How Am I Doing segment, and you'll be able to see me talk to her about what I had at that particular time. In 2012, I was 46 years old. I'm 58 years old today, if you're watching this in 2024. And just to give you a benchmark of how I was doing at that point, in my retirement accounts, I had $173,511. So that was my 401k and my Roth IRA. I had an emergency fund of $31,260. I had investments that you'll see on the slide on the show of $6,200. That was a CD that I had at about 5%. I'm not sure why they had the CD under investments, because I don't see that as investments. It's more like short-term reserves. But my condo value at that time was, believe it or not, only $55,000. That's a 5. It went from $100,000 when I bought it in 2003 to $45,000 in 2008. It only jumped up to $55,000 by 2012. And you'll see on the graphic that I owed $55,000 on my condo at that time as well. So that nets to zero, right? So my investments and what I had in money at that time was $210,000, which of course is also the net worth, again, because the mortgage is 50 or 55. The condo value was 55, so that netted to zero. So my net worth, you'll see in that episode at that time, was $210,000. as you guys know, I believe in a zero-based budget. So I had an episode in the past. You can scroll down in the list and you'll see my episode where I talk about building a budget, seeing your vision first, and then spend the money in advance on paper, I like to call it. Now, the producer ended up telling me that most people go on the show and they just don't know what they've got going on with their money. But I was so granular that I knew exactly how much I had coming in and the expenses, plus saving as an expense as well. But during the taping of that episode, it was kind of funny because Suze Orman said something to me like, okay, everybody, you might not be doing as well as you think because I only had like $8 at the end of the month based on the numbers I gave her. But that really should have been a zero because I'm a zero-based budget, so I made a mistake by $8 with my numbers. Anyway, because she said that, most people just send in the spreadsheet. They think they're spending, or I'm sorry, they think they're saving more than they do. And so for a lot of people that go on the show, the producer told me, this is a reality check, because then they're like, oh wow, I didn't realize I was not doing as well as I thought. But anyway, for you and for me, we've got a hold of our money. We usually know what's going on. So, during the episode, you'll see that Susie's advice was for me to not pay off my mortgage. So I was putting $600 towards my mortgage for probably, I would say 4 years, somewhere in there, because my goal was to get my condo paid off by the time I was 50 years old, which was 4 years away. So there I was in 2012, on the show, showing her in my Excel spreadsheet that I was putting $600 into the principal of my mortgage so that I could be debt-free at age 50. Now, I thought that she would really like that idea, but she brought up the fact, because I didn't have much in liquid savings at that time, which I thought I did. I had like 30-some thousand, but her advice really was to refinance. Because at that time in 2012, to give you a little history lesson on the past, there was what was known as the HARP program, the Housing Affordable Refinance Program, that because a lot of people were either break-even like I was or underwater in their mortgage, they were able to refinance to get a better rate. And I know this is not the environment that we're in right now. The intent of my show is not really to talk about things that people do today. I'm giving you a history lesson of what happened in the past, and we know that sometimes the past can repeat itself as well. So there I was, faced with an opportunity to refinance my mortgage. So I had a 5.5% rate, which seems really low right now, right? And I could refinance, believe it or not, at 3.25% because of the environment that we were in at that time. Now those environments may come back in the next 5 years, who knows? So again, I'm just sharing with you what happened for me then. And so again, her advice was to refinance and then be able to save that $600 into more buffer for a savings account. So what I'm going to do is end the episode